Hi everyone, it's Sharif. I'm talking to you today about one of my favorite apps on the iPad and the iPhone. I'm using the Screencast-O-Matic as a program to record my video for today, and I will run you through the application and how to use it. So it's actually developed in 2010 by a company called EC Europe, and the idea of the mini atlas is just to try to simplify some of the scientific information for families and to help them understand what their kids really are suffering from. So this is the website in the iTunes. If you just Google it, you will see this app, and it's available for both iPhone and iPad. I believe it's like $9.99 for the iPad and $1.99 for the iPhone. So it's really convenient and not that expensive. So this is how it looks like, and this is the first page that you will see as a home page. So it's actually divided into categories. So growth development, developmental problem, infections, bacterial, viral, parasitic, metabolic, allergy, cardiovascular, hematology, skin, nephrology, and eye and ear problems. So it's actually kind of really some covering most of the big topics that you're gonna see in Gen Peds. So this app is really very important, I believe, for anybody who's doing general peds. So we can go through some of them and see what they have inside. So here, like the growth and development, and each has like seven, maybe kind of different problems. The growth and development, start of life, breastfeeding, just touching base on some of them, and then here developmental problem, congenital cardiac problem, psychoretic reflux, and some other cardiac problems. Here talking about infections in infancy, and we all general pediatricians know how important it is to really understand and explain to the family some of these infectious problems. Bacterial infections we see a lot of the time, especially like something like otitis media, pneumonia. It really gives us a lot of information that we can make it easy to the family. Viral infections, talking about parasitic, not that common, but sometimes, especially in a diverse area, you might need to use it. And here, like nutritional, malnutrition, obesity is a big topic in the US, especially for kids, and health for children and adolescents, and how this can impact the risk as an adult having cardiovascular problems. Allergy, we all deal with that, asthma, atopic dermatitis, allergic rhinitis, anemias, and other hematological problem. Kawasaki, we see many times in the inpatient services, and some other miscellaneous like undescended testes or reflux. So prematurity, those who are talking about NICUs and like to explain to the parents what exactly this means can be helpful too. So here like kind of like some snapshots of those ones and how it really looks like. So just try to simplify with good illustration what this means and the stages and a little bit of information as well. And we're gonna see some about the strabismus, cryptocurrency. You can see here it's really simple illustrated figure that can give you an imagination how this really works and what are the steps like from A to B, C, and how the testes like for example comes down. So they really can understand what you are talking about when you explain to them. Reflux with those with UTIs, Kawasaki, and what happened and what are different arteries and what are the manifestations. The same for iron deficiency anemia, allergic rhinitis, obesity, and how this can influence your life later on. And what about your bad diet habits that you keep doing and can end up with adult obesity and how this can affect you being at risk for diabetes, coronary artery disease, and cerebrovascular disease as well. Diabetes, infectious mononucleosis for our kids, hepatitis A, not common, but we just do see it sometimes for people coming from endemic areas. Human herpes in the neonate and infants, in at zoster as well. We see it, UTIs all the time for infants, and the emergency room visits. Diseases that can be prevented, that can actually be nice graph to show to the family with the first day of vaccines started, so they know what are the categories that they're gonna go through and what is the step ladder up to pregnancy, what kind of vaccine they need, and how really can this be helpful. rash, which is just like a common thing that all pediatricians usually see all the time. Just give you an idea how this really look like, and you can just explain to the family how the manifestation will be and how the infection can be transmitted. So erythema infectiosum, varicella, scarlet fever, measles, and how it really looks like, and what the distribution of the rash from the first day to the third day, and kind of common complication you can see with all of them, and even like get you like a sum with all the differential diagnoses that you can see. Common like food allergy as well, and you can see here what all different products that can induce food allergy, and then end up with something like as very common as asthma, and why they are wheezing, explaining to them the airway, how the lungs look like, and how the airway look like with all this inflammation that can happen. So the actually extra advantage that I love about the Miniatlas Pediatrics is that the option to have this, if you look up this one here, if you click on text, you will be able to show some simple scientific information that can really help the parents understand in a very simple language what this really means. And here even you can see they're just trying to simplify it, like with the whisper and the sound like wheezing. And then you can have all of that here. If you click on the envelope sign, it will just give you the option to email this picture with this information. So this how the email is gonna look like, and this is gonna be for your email, lecturebrawi@me.com, and the subject will be the topic that you are teaching the parents about, with the text that already have been shown up there. And at the same time, in the same email, you will see a copy of this picture that you just sent the family, so they can keep it for their record. They can print it at home. And also, there is another option which is so nice about it here is the language. So you can change it from English to Spanish, Spanish to English, and whatever you want. And even sometimes you can use other languages that are provided by the company. So it's a very neat app. It's nice, and I think it's very helpful for whoever is doing gen. And I hope you like it. I hope you enjoy it, and I would appreciate your feedbacks. Have a good one.